Hello everyone, welcome back to Tinateach Python Modifying Object. We'll be looking at the object methods that are specific only to objects, and then the self parameter, which is something that we've seen before with previous lessons, but this time I actually get to explain it to you. Okay, let's move on to the first part, object methods. These methods that I'm talking about, they are like functions that are only reserved for that object. Okay, for example, I have a class named pet, and we have the init function with self. This self parameter is what we're going to be talking about next slide. Name and age, self.name equals name, self.age equals age. We've talked about this before. And then we have the my function self print. My pet's name is self name. The name self is just a placeholder. You can change it to whatever you want as long as it is the first parameter of any function in the class is all good. So it's the same with for loop. You remember how for loop we used to have like for x in this dictionary, for example. X is just a placeholder. You can replace it with anything for result in dictionary or for values in dictionary, for example. Okay, I don't recommend using value though, because it may come into conflict with other keywords. So it's better to just use something that is not, a keyword in Python or syntax, and just say like results or like printing this or like the value of dictionary in value of dictionary in dictionary, for example. Okay, now let's take a look at the example with self parameter. I have class pet, okay, and then the init function little cat in replacement of self, and then I have name and age. Then little cat name is name, little cat age is age. Next up to my function phrase print, my pet's name is phrase.name. Now I'm going to zoom in a little bit so it's easier to see, and let's start with a class pet. Whoops, my bad, sorry, I set it up to Vietnamese. Definition, the init function little cat in replacement of self, and then name and age. Go down here and we have little cat dot name equals to name, little cat dot age equals to age. All right, def my function phrase print my pet's name is, remember the spacing, otherwise the name and this phrase is going to be attached together with no spacing at all, plus phrase dot name. Then let's go down here and have our variable pet buff, then 2, and then pet dot my function. So this is what we have. Okay, my pet's name is Beth. And if you change the self over here, I'm just going to make it cat, and cat. You run it again, it's just going to be the same thing. Okay, you can use any name for this, preferably something that is specific and that adds a lot of context into your class or your block of code. Okay, now that is it for today's lesson. I hope that you do learn something new about methods and the self parameter. The self parameter, given its name, is quite obvious, given how it's referring to the class itself, or more specifically, the current instance of the class. So our next topic, we're going to be diving into objects properties, how to add, how to remove, and the pass statement as well. So don't miss out on that. Thank you for watching until the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Learn today, better tomorrow, and have a wonderful day.